man, that Kadeem Carey is something. The quarterback, he gave us fits. They play tough, solid defense. We're happy to get out of here with the win. We got it by the skin of our teeth. So I thought we played well tonight in a tough environment. We did some good things. We got off to a good start. I probably screwed up our momentum by calling that fake punt, but we saw something there. It was there. We had it. We just didn't execute it. Asking a lot of two freshmen to put them in that position, but as you guys very obviously know, after tonight, we're not going to shy away from putting our freshmen in tough situations because we have a lot of faith in them, and we're going to keep giving them opportunities to make plays. But I just thought it was a heck of a game. It was a hard-fought win on the road against a Pac-12 opponent. We're both fighting for the same thing, which is a chance to represent the South in the championship game, and this keeps us alive. So we're going to take it. We're going to take it, and we're excited about it. And it's a short week for us, so we've got to get off this one as quickly as we can and get on to the next one, which is Friday night back at the Rose Bowl, which is going to be, boys, that can be a fun environment. So if you are a UCLA fan and you're seeing this or you're reading this, take the day off, buy something black, and get out to the Rose Bowl, because it's going to be an environment you don't want to miss. And the way our fans have been supporting us lately, I wouldn't be surprised if that place is full to the brim, so it'll be fun.
When did the idea start formulating that you guys are going to use Jack on offense?
Well, we've always talked about it, as you know, and it's just a matter of, how much do you give young players to do, and at what point do they become saturated and lose their effectiveness? And, Noel came up with the idea this week of putting in a package where we used either Jordan Zumwalt and Keenan Graham with Miles Jack back there, or the young guys, which was Eddie and Kenny Clark with Miles. But I think it was like Thursday morning. Noel is kind of a mad scientist at times. I mean, it might be, 5 minutes before we take the practice field, and he's up on the board drawing something up. And I think it was one of those kinds of things. Like if you opened any playbook, UCLA playbook that we have this year, you would not be able to find that anywhere. It was one of those, hey, let's try this. Noel's good at that.
Is there anything in particular that said this was the week we wanted to do this?
Just
Noel being crazy.
Just a hunch. Just you as a coach, I think sometimes you just trust your instincts, and you get to know your players better and what they can handle. It certainly wasn't anything that Arizona showed us. Now maybe Noel's going to give you a different answer than that, but as far as I know, it was just, hey, let's try this, and it worked pretty good.
That said, to expect her to do what he did was just kind of crazy.
Did I expect?
Or just for anyone to expect her to do what he did was almost crazy. 6 carries, 120 yards, 2 touchdown runs. For him to respond the way he did, that's pretty remarkable.
Yeah, it's remarkable, but it doesn't surprise me. I've been fortunate to know this young man since he was about 12 years old, and I don't think that anything he's ever done or is going to do is going to surprise me. He's a tremendous kid from a great family. He cares about his team. He'll do anything to help us win. It's reflected in the way he plays, the passion he plays with. He's a smart football player. It was just time. It was time to get him going on that package, and it definitely gave us the spark we needed. We got the 90-yard drive at the end of the first half, which was huge for us, to kind of regain a little momentum that we lost when I screwed up the punt call, and then at the end there, it gave us what we needed. So,
what do you have to monitor him? Can you see when he's had a little too much and kind of say, all right, let's...
He doesn't get tired real easy. Well, he's 18, so if we can all remember, we recovered a little faster when we were 18 than we do now. And he kind of, hey, just give me a minute and I'll be okay. And he is. There was a number of times there after those runs when we'd go back out and I'd say to Coach Olbrich, he'd be ready to sub for him here, and Miles would say, no, I'm ready to go. So.
What do you have to do with Brett to kind of bottle those first 2 possessions he had tonight?
Well, it's a game of adjustments, and when you're having success on offense or defense, good coaches like they have make adjustments. Their defensive coaches make adjustments, and then you make adjustments, and they make adjustments, and then you make adjustments, and that's the game of football. And it's not necessarily just Brett. It's blocking well, and it's running good routes, and it's catching the ball, and you know, I think we're getting better and better. I thought Brett played really well tonight. I mean, there was certainly some plays, you know, he threw a ball behind a guy one time. I mean, that's going to happen, but he just gets better all the time. I mean, he's had 2 great weeks of practice. You see the confidence growing, the trust. It's really fun to witness.
Obviously, they weren't expecting Miles, I'm assuming, to run the ball. Do you think that element of surprise really helped?
I think any time that you can do something that you haven't shown before and it's effective, that it helps you, yeah. But I think you have to be careful that you don't go crazy. You know, you've got a foundation of things that you believe in, concepts that you believe in, and you've got to embrace those, and you've got to perfect those as much as you possibly can, and then, you know, every week you come up with something that, you know, hopefully catches your opponent off guard. That's just coaching.
Coach, how would you assess Huntley's performance tonight?
Brett Hundley?
Yeah, and the contribution of Paul Perkins also.
A couple of Arizona guys.
I was going to ask you about the next.
Yeah, I thought that Brett played well. I thought, you know, he got us off to a really good start. He played with a lot of confidence. He ran the ball well. And then Paul is just a really good football player. You know, there was a couple that they just got him by the foot there. He's, you know, off to the races. And we're really lucky to have both those guys on our team.
Jim, what's going through your mind in the last minutes watching the defense? I mean, what's in it? What do they have now that you're able to make those stops on the road?
Confidence.
It seems like it's just going to all slip away.
Confidence. Yeah, they really believe in what they're doing. They really believe in each other. They really believe in Coach Spanos and the calls he's giving them. You know, he dialed up on 3rd and 4th down. We called man-free pressure. You know, and I think that, you know, we all had questions early in the year about our secondary, and I think those guys have really risen to the challenge, you know, and are doing some really good things.
You don't tell me you're even sweating over there on the sidelines. What's
What's
going through your mind?
Oh, I'm about to vomit the whole game. Yeah, I know that doesn't sound real good. At one point in the game, I'm thinking to myself, I might be, is there an ulcer growing in there? I mean, it's just, you know, that's how it is for football coaches, and you know, you try not to let on to your players. I think it's really important at all times that you try to indicate confidence to them, you know, and control and composure. And but I'll tell you what, it can eat you up.
Was Miles
practice on offense?
What's that?
Was Miles practice on offense this year?
He did Thursday, he did Friday, and then we walked through it today at the hotel we stayed at. We found a little patch of grass out there, and we walked through it again. Yeah. I'm sorry.
What did you think of that? What can you say about that big hit and carrying at the goal line?
You know, I'm glad you asked me that, because it brings up a really important player on this defense who gets overshadowed by Anthony Barr, and he gets overshadowed by Miles Jack, and that's Jordan Zumwalt. I mean, Jordan Zumwalt had a great game tonight, and he's a heck of a player. He had a nice catch out there. He's all over the field. He's like our Energizer Bunny. He's like the spark man. He keeps it going. He has fun. He's dancing around out there on kickoff return. Last week we were at the Rose Bowl. I look out and he's leading an 8 clap during a timeout. You know, he just loves to play the game, and I think it's infectious. And he played great tonight, and I'm glad you asked that, because he needs to be recognized. Too often he kind of slides. You know, people are focusing on AB and on Miles, and Jordan Zumwalt's a heck of a football player.
You take all these games, as you say, just one at a time. But was there this was a particular obstacle, given that you don't leave Los Angeles the rest of the year?
Yeah.
This one, what was?
It was our last road trip. You know, we had to get on an airplane and go somewhere and play that's, you know, at least unfamiliar to a lot of our guys. You know, staying in a different hotel. And so it was a real challenge, you know, and I think that, you know, it's homecoming for them. It's a night game, it's a late game, it's a long day. You know, it's a game that, you know, is going to go a long ways towards determining the, you know, Pac-12 South. At least one of us stays in it. You know, maybe both of us stay in it. I don't know, but you know, so it was a big challenge for us, you know, and just, yeah, any win's gratifying. I mean, you know, they're hard. I mean, I know everyone thinks they're easy. You know, you see some of these college scores, and it's hard to win, man. It's hard.
You know, Jim, us old-timers have seen a lot of bad things happen here at UCLA in the past. When you took over the team last year, does that team do what this team did tonight? I mean, is that, over the last 2 years, the evolution of the team, does that team win this kind of game tonight?
I don't know, but I know this team did tonight, and I'm proud of them. You know, I told them I'm proud to be their coach. I think they've come a long ways, and we've got a long ways to go. I mean, there's no doubt. You know, you just have to look at the Stanford and the Oregon game, and you can see, you know, how far we have to go. But what's awesome is that, we're making strides. You know, we know where we want to go, we can see it, and we work every day to get there. And it's only a matter of time before this program gets where we're aiming.
All right, thanks, guys.